You might have heard by now such statements as humans cause a mass extinction of species, or we're witnessing a sixth extinction wave, or something like extinction is a natural process, or evolution will restore biodiversity. Let's look at what evidence tells us about such statements, so that we can deal with them in their right context. Extinction here refers to the disappearance of species of living organisms from this planet. This usually occurs because of changed conditions to which the species is not any longer suited. Or a species may also become extinct through its gradual evolution into new species, because of natural selection for characteristics that are suited to new conditions. Thus, the process of evolution and extinctions are of course natural, and extinction is inherent in the evolutionary process itself. Though extremely difficult to study, the paleontological data indicate that over long periods of time, the number of species becoming extinct remains fairly constant. That is, there is an average number of species that disappear, say, in each century or millennium. This is called background extinction rate. However, during 3.5 billion years of history of life on this planet, there have been periods when large percentages of species became extinct in a relatively short period of time. These are called mass extinctions. It is plausible that at least on 5 distinct occasions, an overwhelming majority of species was wiped out. It looks like this. Here we have time on the x-axis, and on y we have extinction rate presented here as the number of families of species disappearing from the paleontological records in a million of years. During most of the time, species and whole families disappear within a certain range, that is, background extinction rate. And then every now and then there are spikes in extinctions, as you can see here, which we can call also extinction waves. Here we count 5 of such. All such extinction waves affected the planet's biodiversity in somewhat different ways. They lasted varied periods of times and had widely different courses. For example, a third major extinction event fell during the Permian period and caused a massive disappearance of an estimated 96% of all species. Scientists are still unclear what was the cause of causes of this great dying. Perhaps it was a chain of events involving an asteroid strike, volcanic activity, climate change, and even microbes. The most famous is the last mass extinction that put an end to the dinosaurs and in turn gave space to the dominion of mammals. But mind you, though we speak of relatively short periods when the mass extinction occurs, they are short only in geological sense. The mass extinction may be unfolding for hundreds of thousands of years. To sum up, it is estimated that as a result of what we call natural processes, of the 4 billion species evolved on this planet, some 99% are gone by now. Very few species survived such past exterminations. The tardigrade, water bear, became famous recently for having done just this. And yet the life on the Earth is as diverse as ever, which brings us to the present. You most certainly know that we are currently witnessing a drastic rate of species disappearances. The majority of the causes can be tracked down to the activities of just one single species, Homo sapiens. So, how severe is this human-driven extinction process? Can we speak of the 6th extinction wave, comparable to those that happened previously? It is certainly true that currently biodiversity is declining faster than at any time in human history, and I do stress human history. The estimates for the present extinction rates range around 100 to 1,000 times higher than the baseline extinction rate. They are also increasing. How close are they to the extinction wave? The mass extinction happens when over 70% of species are being lost. Here are some example taxa for which we have estimates. As you can see here, in historic time, the percentage of documented species loss in black is actually very low. It is 0 to 1% depending on the taxon. However, 20 to 40% of species and many more of their populations are threatened with extinction. That is, they may disappear within our living time, which is a short geological time. Though we have not yet seen the sixth mass extinction, we haven't reached that 75% threshold. If also the currently threatened species disappear, we would jump from 1/4 to halfway towards such sixth mass extinction. We would approach the red zone of the mass extinctions for some taxa. This would be an astonishing achievement, proving that our species is not all that wise, or sapiens, as we call itself. My last statement was, evolution will restore biodiversity. Of course it will. No one can stop the evolutionary process. However, it takes millions of years for biodiversity to recover after an extinction event. In the most severe mass extinctions, it may have taken 15 to 30 million years. This is certainly a long wait for the humanity. So, our answers will be: humans cause a mass extinction of species? Certainly. We are witnessing a sixth extinction wave? Not yet, but may soon. Extinction is a natural process? Definitely so. Evolution will restore biodiversity. Yes, it will, but not on a scale of humanity. Averting a dramatic decline of biodiversity and the subsequent loss of numerous benefits it provides to the humanity is still possible, but as you can see, that window of opportunity is rapidly closing. The good news is that we can stop this particular mass extinction. It is not in our power, at least for the time being, to deflect an unforeseen asteroid or to stop a volcanic eruption. But since our activities are the major cause for the ongoing extinction, changes in our activities can also reverse this trend, and everyone can contribute to this. We don't have to be a public figure or person in power in order to have some impact. We encourage you to explore how to do this in this course and through other learning. And good luck on this journey. It is really worth it.